animals deserve respect, humans and non-humans. The survival of all species depends on the human's ability to respect our neighbors, but we're not very good at this. I always thought I was good at respect. I teach acting, which is all about playing off my partner mindfully, moment to moment. And I graduated from Juilliard with honors. I've been on TV, on and off Broadway. I thought I respected the hell out of my neighbors. Horses taught me otherwise. I've been around horses all my life. I'm a good rider, and I've competed successfully. But then 20 years ago, I started working with horses in a radically new way. And I finally saw them for who they really are. See, respect is based upon seeing clearly. The Latin root of the word is respecere. It means to notice, to pay attention to look back reciprocally. Donna Haraway taught me this. And the problem is that we humans don't necessarily see what is right in front of us. We have what Arlen Mack and Irvin Rock call inattentional blindness. Mack and Rock write, normal human beings are blind to anything they're not paying attention to. There seems to be no conscious perception without attention. We're visually biased. If you would, let's do something that I learned from Dan Simon's TED Talk. Hold your arm straight out and stick up your thumb. Now, the area that most human beings see in high definition is only the width of our thumb. That's how much detail we see at any given moment of our world. And this is fine for us humans. It's not the way horses see the world. But what do we do with the periphery? Right? We fill it in, we gloss, we assume, or we do not see it at all. And I always thought I saw everything that horses were doing. I've been obsessed with horses from a young age. This is a picture of me at 6 years old on a pony. And as a teenager, I worked in stables and I showed horses. This is a picture of me at 16, winning a championship ribbon on Lady. I love horses, and I thought I respected them. But then I started working in the way a genius horseman, and I really mean a genius horseman, developed. And his name was Tom Dorrance. Tom Dorrance observed horses' natural behavior. And from these observations, he developed revolutionary ways of working with horses. He has improved the lives of thousands of horses around the globe. In his book, True Unity, Tom Dorrance wrote, I try to really see the horse as a horse, to see what he is and his potential. In watching horses, I try to let them tell me what is going on within themselves. This is This is a bothered horse. And these are happy horses, mostly because there's no humans around. So that's the ugly truth. But what Tom Dorrance is talking about is a reciprocal seeing, right? Now, seeing is not just a visual. It expands to include all senses. Dorrance asks that we accept the horses as they are. Their behavior is neither good nor bad, it just is. For example, this horse is troubled by the saddle. Now, fortunately, she is being handled by a horseman who's familiar with Dorrance's approach. If you would, please look at that lead rope. It's leading from the horse's head into his hand, and notice how loose it is. He's letting the horse express herself. He is not trying to stop this or tighten the rope and prevent her from bucking, which is what most of us horse people would do. He is letting her work out her problem. Dorrance wrote, I work with riders, and I've helped them, but they thought they had a horse problem. But I tell them the horse has a people problem. And I finally saw what he was talking about. So let's take a look at Rambo. Now, Rambo is worth his weight in gold. He has taught many children how to ride and care for horses. I always assumed Rambo liked his job, and then I started to pay attention. So in this video, if you would please watch Rambo's ears as I pet him, and I'll talk you through it. His ears are up. My hand approaches, one ear goes back. I touch, both ears go back. I withdraw, and the ears come back up. Now, those of us with dogs might assume that ears back means they like being petted or that they're being submissive. Dogs are not horses. Dogs and humans, we're pack, predator animals. Horses are prey, herd animals. With horses, ears back can be a signal of annoyance, a warning. Now, with Rambo, this isn't a problem. Children are going to pet him, kiss him, hug him, and he will take good care of them. But with a troubled or more dominant horse, ears back can be the signal before they bite us or kick us. And these horses often get put down, killed for their behavior. But they warned us. And if we could see these signals sooner and address that behavior earlier, maybe we could get along. Most domestic horses live in boxes without much time turned loose in a field. There are horses who are only let out of their box stalls for 1 hour a day, and this for an animal designed to move constantly. We may not be able to liberate all domestic horses, but we can and should do our best to improve their imprisoned lives. It can begin with something simple like petting. So here, Luke Newbert is petting a horse mindfully. Now, he earned this by respecting the horse, paying attention to it, and asking the horse to respect him reciprocally. And he rewarded the slightest try, as Dorrance prompted. So Luke here and the horse are looking back reciprocally at one another. I look back at my life with horses, and I see things differently. Did you all notice in this picture that the pony has a muzzle on its nose? That's to prevent it probably from biting kids like me. Well, how happy is that pony really? The image on your left is the original Polaroid. The image on your right is a professional retouched version that my sister gave me for Christmas. I was so surprised when I put these side by side, and I noticed that the retouched version, the retoucher gave me a bigger smile than is in the original version. Right? We humans see what we want to see. Young kid on a cute pony, everybody's happy, right? We assume. So I work to challenge assumptions by leading workshops with horses and humans. For a few years now, I have worked with medical students from the Warren Alpert Medical School and horses. So here are some of the medical students interacting with Desi, an ex-racehorse, and you'll see Rambo is in the background. These horses teach the medical students how to become more effective health practitioners. The horses practice really seeing their patient, their partner, as they are without the fog of human projection. And one of the things that we challenge is that everybody likes to be touched. Horses, more often than not, don't want to be petted. There are many humans, maybe they're on the autism spectrum or have suffered abuse, for whom touching is problematic. Respect is not an emotion or a static state of being. It is a dynamic awareness, a reciprocal interaction. It is a skill that can be strengthened. First, by acknowledging our limitations. Second, attention must be paid. as Willie Loman said. So if you would, let's do something together now. Close your eyes and think of the person sitting next to you. Can you remember the color of their clothing, the color of their hair, or any details on their clothing? Now open your eyes and check. See if you can see anything. Right? And, right? We miss so much. So let's pay closer attention to one another. Look, we live in highly polarized and confusing times. Respect is in low supply, and all animals are suffering for it. Some are going extinct. Some human populations are not being seen. So we can do better than this. Let's challenge our assumptions. See, we humans struggle to respect across species. We struggle to respect other humans across culture, across race, across gender, across sexual orientation, across income, across ability. Our very survival depends on our willingness to respect all animals. This is Tom Dorrance with a youngster. This is how it can be. Look at the kindness in that man's hands. This is respect across generations. This is respect across species. This is Moxie and Uta looking at one another reciprocally. So let's acknowledge our limitations. Let's pay more attention to one another. Let us challenge our assumptions. And then we can see all living beings, including ourselves, with greater clarity. Let no body be invisible. Now, Aretha Franklin, in her great song, Respect, asked for just a little bit of respect. Let's ask for a lot more.